There is a phrase being thrown around in the investment space. That phrase is robo-advisor. I've always had an issue with this phrase. It sounds algorithmic, it sounds impersonal, it sounds almost inhuman. And I wanted to find out and dig deeper what that essentially means. Are there humans behind this phrase? Now, I'm lucky that this channel is sponsored by Wealthify. And so this video is going to be very different to the videos that you've seen on this channel. And with that said, welcome to Cardiff.
How are you?
Right?
You cool? You good?
Welcome to
Good.
Wealthify.
It's nice to be here. Nice boat and everything like that.
Thank you. Thank you. It's not mine, but it's always nice to walk past in the morning.
Good.
Shall I show you our offices?
It would be great to have a look and meet and see who's actually in your business.
Andy Russell, I'm the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of Wealthify.
And what does that actually mean? What does that look like on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, it's kind of talking with the leaders, setting the direction of what we do as a company, making some interesting decisions and trying to push us all forward to grow as quickly as we can.
And how have things been at the moment with the business and growing and interacting with people?
It's been great. I mean, throughout the last few years, we've kind of increased in size by about fivefold. Lots more people are wanting to use digital online investment tools. So we're seeing a lot of people come in and express interest, and that obviously gives us a lot of buzz in the office.
Yeah.
People want to serve people as well as we can. So it's a good place to work at the moment.
Yeah. Do you find that the space is quite crowded? Because one thing that I like about you when I did the first review in, I think it was at 2020, was how simple and accessible you actually made it.
Yeah.
And that's actually quite a feat because
it is.
the investment world is full of jargon. It's full of like acronyms that to be honest, they can be more hindrance than help, especially for like retail investors.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do that? And that's one of the key things that I want to get to the bottom of today, because it's one thing that I'm really impressed with you by. How do you actually get it to the point where it's really, really dumbed down and it's easy and accessible for people?
Well, when you meet the team, when I take you through next door to meet team, they're the guys that do it. We spent a lot of time just putting ourselves in customers' shoes and trying to talk to our customers like we would our friends and our family, rather than using industry terms.
Mm-hmm.
So we tried to keep it simple, and I think that's really important as a robo-advisor. We're trying to access the people that's probably not invested before. It might be their first step into investment. So, trying to explain things in a way that is accessible, that enables people to understand what they're doing, where their money's going, is really important. Because otherwise, the monies will be sat in a savings account, getting eaten up by inflation. So we're trying to help people do the right thing for them.
I mean, inflation is an important and interesting topic because, I mean, we're filming this in the May of 2022, when we've just been told last week by Andrew Bailey that inflation is going to be circa plus 10% by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think the natural position for people who will be looking at the internet and YouTube and places on, well, what can I do with my money? How do I make my money work harder?
Yeah.
Investing almost feels like the next thing to go to because you're not going to get anything in your savings account.
Yeah.
I guess that makes your job quite, number one, interesting, but also quite challenging as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mixture of both. So if inflation's going up, then you should see savings rate starts to go up in time. So the people that's not earned much in their savings account should start to actually get a little bit more from it. But inflation is materially higher than savings accounts.
Yeah.
So lots of people talk to me about risk. Investments is a big risk assessment game.
Yeah. For you guys at Wealthify, what's the general kind of vision and mission here?
So our mission is that we are here to inspire anyone to build their future wealth. And I know that might seem a bit cheesy, a kind of CEO sat here talking about their purpose.
But the guys, we've set that. I set that when I joined. I talked to the team. We've set that internally. It's what we believe in. It's in our DNA. It's what we're here to do. It's what we want to do. All our decisions, we hold ourselves accountable to it. Anyone is a really important word. We want to get as many savers into the world as investments as we possibly can. We want to help them think about their long term and build their future wealth. It means a lot to us, and we've spent a lot of time building our really good products and services around that to try and help people achieve that.
Who else in the businesses would be interesting for me to speak to, do you think?
We've got loads of people next door I can introduce you to. Why don't we start off with my Chief Investments Officer, Colleen.
Yeah, well, my name is Colleen McHugh, and I'm interim Chief Investment Officer here at Wealthify.
And what does a Chief Investment Officer actually do?
Oh, do you want the long answer or the short answer?
Give me a mix of the both.
Give me a mix of both, right. Well, look, ultimately the job of a Chief Investment Officer is to develop and implement the investment strategy of client portfolios. So what that means basically is build client portfolios using a mix of bonds and stocks in different proportion with the ultimate aim of sort of maximizing returns but minimizing risk. Now, we do that in two ways. We look at the long-term view of the world and we get a sense of how do we build a portfolio taking into consideration what's going on around us. So we use building blocks, as I mentioned before, like stocks and bonds, and we put them all together in a risk-adjusted way that hopefully gives the best upside to our clients but minimizes downside. Now, that sounds quite simple,
Yeah.
but in the short term, there's a lot of noise.
Yes, there is.
And even though we're looking at the big picture, that's our strategic asset allocation, shorter term things impact the bigger picture,
Yeah.
right? And look, case in point, what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So what we have to do then is be very alive to what's going on in markets, with economic data, geopolitical situation. And we take that all on board and we make tweaks to portfolios. We call that rebalancing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the long answer. But ultimately, the short answer is our job is to try and generate some positive return for clients. But when things get a bit rocky, to try and shelter the downside a little bit.
Obviously, with my channel, I talk a lot about investing.
Yeah.
And the biggest question I often get is, well, when should I buy this? Or
Yeah.
when should I change?
Yeah.
And I'm always like, well, you can't time the market. How difficult is it for you to be able to kind of be at peace with, okay, we think we've done the right thing here?
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a great question. I mean, the world of investing, we try and make it simple, but in the background, it's super, super complex. There is a lot of pressure and there's a lot of noise out there. So our job really as professionals is trying to detach ourselves from that emotion and trying to detach ourselves and look through the noise, and with the information that we have, make a decision based on the information that we have. And at the end of the day, Pete, we are professionals. We do this for a living, but we don't have a crystal ball.
So I guess you guys will have access to kind of information, market news, that kind of stuff. You'll have regular meetings around what's going on in the market, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do you find that customers ask questions about what you're doing, or do you feel that they're kind of like, we don't care as long as they're doing a good job type thing?
I've been working in this industry a long time, and what I've come to appreciate is if the markets are going up, everything's hunky-dory. And you never get anyone questioning
That is so true. Yeah.
It's not quite the way when markets are going down right now. People get really nervous. That's when they need some guidance. So the way I sort of position the service that we provide is that, look, we're professionals. We're here to help you. And you'll need that help mostly when the markets start to fall. So we try to be as responsive as possible.
Yeah.
But we don't generally get people asking us what we do day to day. It's more a case of my portfolio's up, fine, but my portfolio's not doing so well. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Personal question, because I think a lot of people will be interested to know, how do you get to be a Chief Investment Officer? How did that happen?
My path perhaps wasn't the most traditional. I worked my way up through different parts of it, investment management. I did all my exams, and I've spent some time working actually in venture capital.
Okay.
So my path is probably not the most traditional, but I mean, when it comes to it, it is about understanding and having, you do have to have the investment qualifications behind you.
Yeah.
But I think a little bit of tenure, a little bit of age helps as well, because we're in a really unique situation at the moment with inflation. Now,
Yeah.
I'm looking around me in the office today, and we haven't had inflation like we have now.
For a very, very long time.
And most of these people haven't even worked it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put my hand up and say I technically haven't either, because my first job working out in this industry was the late 90s.
Yeah.
And at that stage, we were coming off
Coming
an
down,
inflation. Yeah. But now we're in it. So I only say that because it is interesting, and there's quite a lot of uncertainty at the moment.
Thanks for this.
No
I think this will be
problem.
insightful for people who are watching this.
Yeah.
I've always been I'm very passionate about investing in the markets and risk allocation, all that kind of stuff. So you and I could talk for like ages. I'm here to mingle around the office today.
Yeah,
Who
sure.
else can I go and speak to, do you think?
I think maybe over to marketing, perhaps.
Perfect. Right, I'm going to find my way and go and find someone in marketing.
This way, or if not, grab yourself a coffee.
Actually, I will grab coffee first. Thank you. Cheers. Izzy.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Peter?
Nice to meet you. How are you doing? I'm Izzy.
Good. I was sent here to have a coffee, so hopefully you can help me out.
Perfect. Yeah, no
We
problem.
can have a little chat as well.
My name's Izzy. I'm the head of business development at Wealthify. So my role is to help as many people discover Wealthify as possible, and I do that through finding new business avenues for us to work with.
Okay. And how's that at the moment?
It's good. Yeah. We've obviously built a really simple and affordable investment platform, and whilst some customers come to us directly, other customers prefer to discover us through banks or service providers that they might use already. You'll find us featured in the marketplaces of TSB and Starling Bank, for example. So if you're a customer of theirs, then you can integrate Wealthify with your everyday banking. So it makes it a really simple and convenient way to grow your savings pot whilst you're kind of going about your daily life.
Do you find that the new banks or providers are open to working with you guys to provide the investment proposition?
I think it varies. I think some banks see us as a complementary service to what they're already offering, and it helps them engage with a younger, more digitally savvy audience. So yes, that's why we've got now these great partnerships with some of the banks that we're working with already. But there's plenty of opportunities to work with other service providers as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you can access you guys with Starling.
Yeah.
How does that actually work then?
So if you're a Starling Bank customer, you can go through and search in their marketplace, and you'll scroll down and you'll see that under their different kind of providers that they've got listed, you'll find us under the investment and pension section.
Okay.
So you're able to then just go through, click to add it then to your spaces within the Starling app.
It's been really nice speaking to you. One of the great things that I've said this so many times across the videos that I've made for you guys, keeping things simple and the language that you use. And I want to speak, I think it's your marketing department I'm going to go speak to next. Who do you think is best to speak to in marketing around the language and stuff?
Perfect. I would probably go and look for Sally.
Perfect.
She's our Chief Marketing Officer.
That's great. Cheers. Thank
No
you.
worries.
Cool.
Great, so Sally's over here.
Oh, excellent. Okay, cool. Sally,
Hi.
nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Excellent, thank you. What do you do here? I think Chief Marketing Officer sounds like quite grand and complicated.
Yeah.
What does it actually mean?
Well, I was one of the original members of the team, so I literally was handed the name Wealthify on a piece of paper and said, we need a brand, we need a website, we need to understand what this thing is, does, looks, feels like, sounds like. So my job title is quite grand, but it really did start that basic, that it was everything to do with the brand and building up the brand look and feel.
Wealthify, is it kind of like a combination of words in terms of, because when I first heard it, I thought, okay, Wealthify, make wealth simple, simple wealth, that kind of stuff. That's where my brain automatically went to. Is that what the initial team were thinking of?
Most definitely, it was around how do we make it simple, how do we make it digital, and how do we give people back the word wealth. It's not just a word that is for the wealthy, it's for everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely for everybody.
But I think back in my day, if you wanted to start investing, you need to go see a financial advisor. You need 5-10 grand to actually begin. But do you find that in the marketing piece and the messaging piece, that you still find that people think that it's for the wealthy people?
The investment industry is renowned for quite complicated, quite jargon-heavy language and communications. And it was really important to us when we started Wealthify to take out that jargon as much as we possibly could. And when we started, we even had this massive whiteboard where we put up there all the words that we did not want to use. Things like portfolio, things like asset allocation, loads and loads of different words that we just thought people don't really get this. And even if we do have to use those words, we put a very, very clear explanation as to what it actually means. So yeah, that board was there for a couple of years until our office space grew. If you came from customer care or the investment team or finance, anybody who found a word, then we thought this is quite inaccessible, this is quite exclusive. Let's put it up then, let's make sure that we're not including those words in our comms, in our advertising, in our website journeys. Every single word is challenged. If it doesn't have to be there or if it isn't clear, it gets the red pen. I still have red pens on my desk. The team hate me, they hate my red pens.
So I guess this translates into the product. How do you find that with things like the app? Because obviously apps are now really, really big. People live on their phones now.
And we put the same amount of care and attention into the app as we did with the original website, the web journeys, the onboarding journeys. So everything is tested with customers, with our teams internally to make sure it does perform, it does act in the way that people are expecting, that there aren't any sort of dead ends or like what next. So that the actual UX is good and solid.
I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. And it's been nice to be in the office, to actually see where you guys work and meet different people in the team. I think a lot of the time when we think of robo-investors, it's almost deemed to be, I guess, robotic. You know? There are people behind it. That actually isn't the case here. So thank you so much for spending the time.
Great to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye.
This video has essentially been a look at Wealthify. Now, clearly, obviously, they sponsor my channel. They have been sponsoring my channel since the beginning of this year. But if you go back to on my channel since 2020, you know that they were one of those providers that I felt made the investment journey easy for people. Now, the reality is, you know, I don't control your money. I don't make decisions for you, but hopefully you found this useful in terms of getting a behind the scenes look at a company which is there to help people. And at the end of the day, you can start investing with at least £1. This has been an absolute blast for me. Tim is behind the camera. We've got some amazing drone footage. I hope you've enjoyed it. Leave some questions down in the comments. But as always, thank you very much. Money's a tool, life's a living. I'll catch you later on.
I'm Joe Hickman and I do all the writing.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. What's your favourite TV show?
Oh, I don't really have one. The Formula One is a really good one, The Drive to Survive.
Okay, nice. And what's your favourite city?
San Antonio, Texas.
That's different, actually.
My name is Leroy Brito and I do recruitment here.
Excellent. So, cats or dogs?
Dogs, 100%.
Dogs. And what's your favourite TV show?
The Wire.
The Wire. Why The Wire?
It's real.
Good.
Yeah.
Favourite city?
New York.
I'm Paul Jones and I'm a graphic and UX designer.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, but my wife will only let me have a cat, so.
Cool. Favourite TV show?
Grace and Perry's Art Club.
Okay, I'm interested. Favourite city?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Hi, I'm Bhupinder Sidhu, known as Sid, and I'm Partnerships Manager.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dags.
Dags, I like it. And your favourite TV show?
Dragon's Den.
Oh, nice, okay. Why?
Well, I just love the drama of it all and going through the investment piece and seeing people be successful.
Perfect. And your favourite city?
Valencia.
I'm Sarah Mayer and I am Employee Experience Lead.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
And what is your favourite TV show?
Friends.
Friends. Oh, classic. Why?
Because I think it's still funny and I can watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80s classic.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Shows my age.
And your favourite city?
Venice.
Venice.
I'm Rosie and I'm Senior Marcoms Manager.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Controversially cats.
Cats, okay. All right. Favourite TV show?
Parks and Recreation.
Why is that?
Oh, it just makes me laugh.
Good. And what's your favourite city?
Probably London.
London.
Can't beat a classic.
My name's Andrew and I'm a senior developer here.
Fantastic. Cats or dogs?
Oh, definitely dogs.
Dogs, perfect. And what's your favourite TV show?
Match of the Day, my favourite show of the week. Big football fan.
I'm going to add an extra question for you. What football team?
I support two actually, which I know is unusual. So Crystal Palace is my main team, that's where I sort of grew up, but I'm also a season ticket holder at Swindon Town.
Nice, okay. And favourite city?
I've got to say Bath, because that's my nearest, and that's why I moved to the West Country.
Hi, my name's Jay, and I'm a software developer at Wealthify.
Fantastic. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
And what's your favourite TV show?
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders. Why Peaky Blinders?
Absolute wild cards. A lot of them. Yeah, interesting show.
Fantastic. And your favourite city?
Favourite city has to be the place I live now, Cardiff.
I'm Jenny and I'm a digital marketing assistant.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs, okay. And what's your favourite TV show?
Oh, I think British Sewing Bee, Great British Sewing Bee.
Okay, interesting. And what's your favourite city?
I think it's got to be Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
I'm Richard and I'm part of the business to business team at Wealthify as a business development manager.
Perfect. Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I've got a golden retriever.
Good, perfect. What's your favourite TV show?
Ooh, I'd have to say Suits.
Suits. Why Suits?
Just enjoy it. Really enjoy it. It's really engaging.
It's one of my favourite shows, to be honest, as well. It's a great show. And what's your favourite city?
Swansea. That's where I'm from.
Farrah Wilson, General Counsel, so legal stuff.
Excellent, cool. Cats or dogs?
Dogs, I think, but I do quite like cats as well. You know, they're all individuals. At the end of the day, you can get some really lovely cats.
Cool. And what's your favourite TV show?
I'm going to say Neighbours, even though I don't watch it much anymore. Just because it's got a special place in my heart from having watched it most of my life, and it's a bit of an end of an era that's going to be coming to an end soon.
Yeah, Ramsey Street.
Yeah.
Ramsey Street. And what's your favourite city?
Venice.
My name is Chris Jones and I am the Head of Resource Planning and Delivery here at Wealthify.
And cats or dogs?
Dogs, 100%.
Okay. And what's your favourite TV show?
Couldn't probably name one, but I've got to say anything kind of probably sport related.
Okay.
Probably, yeah, for me.
Which ones are you watching at the moment?
Anything rugby related, Scrum 5.
Okay, excellent. And what's your favourite city?
Paris. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Paris multiple times, and I think, one I kind of always get drawn back to over and over again.